for each and every one of you to take some time out to come here and kind of christen this office. This is your office. This is your campaign. This is not for me. This is for each and every one of you to understand that this is a constitutional republic. And in being a constitutional republic, there are two things that are so important. It's the rule of law, and it's the respect of individual rights and freedoms. And if we're not careful, we will lose those two preeminent things that make us who we are, that make this nation the greatest nation that the world has ever known, the things that we have accomplished in 234 years. If we're not careful, though, we can lose them in about 4 to 5 years. So the challenge for each and every one of you, because the other side is saying who they are and what they stand for, are you going to allow them to take your country away from you? See, I believe, just like Leonidas said, at that gap at Thermopylae, back at about 429 BC, when the Persian army of Xerxes, 1 million men, stood against them in that gap, and they came forth and they told him, Spartans, lay down your weapons. And he said two simple words in Greek, Molon, Labe. And that translates to come and get them. What we need to say, if you want to try to take our country away from us, if you want to try to take the principles upon which this country was founded, if you want to try to take away the future and legacy of this great nation away from our children and grandchildren, come and get it. Because one thing that a warrior loves is to smell fear and desperation in his adversary. And I got to tell you, there are a few little mailers that the Florida Democrat Party that's been sending out here recently. And they've been sending it here to my house as well. So I will tell you something. It's personal, Jack. Because what they don't realize, I want to take these two mailers, and I'm going to write those two words on it. Molon, Labe. Good. And Josh, where are you? Right. I want you to mail them back to the Florida Democratic Party. Yeah. Because I want you to tell them, come, because there's a fight waiting for you. Because if they want to continue to call me an extremist and a radical, because I believe in this country, if they want to say things about me that are untrue, if they are showing that this election is going to be about one thing, character assassination, I'll put my character up against Ron Klein any day. Amen. What this is about are the issues. It is about people that will stand up and understand what fiscal security means. Because if we're not careful, the marginal tax rate of the American people will be astronomically high. It will be 65 to 75% come January of next year. And there is no way that we can grow an economy if 2/3 to 3/4 of your earnings go right out the door. But it is also about your physical security. Because you must be able to lay your head down at night and know that you will be safe and you will be protected here in the United States of America. And that means recognizing that there are enemies out there that want to kill us. There are people out there that don't believe in our way of life. There are people out there who for 1,400 years have been fighting against Western civilization and the principles of individual rights, responsibilities, and freedoms. And that's what we have to have, people that have the courage and the competence and the conviction and the commitment to the American people. Not to themselves, not to special interests. But when I go to Washington, D.C., each and every day I'm up there, I see your face. I see your face, I see your face. I see all of your faces, so that you will never have to worry, what is Allen West going to do? Because Allen West is going to do the exact same thing he did for 22 years when you did not know me. When I picked up the phone call, and I left my wife Angela, my 2 daughters Aubrey and Austin, because it was important to protect you. Because it's important that you have people, just like those Spartans back then, that stood in the gap for Greece, that stood in the gap so that democracy and those principles will continue on to this point where we are right now. They understood service and they understood sacrifice. So that there is an epithet right now that says, go tell the Spartans and strangers passing by that here, obedient to their principles, we lie. I will give every inch of who I am to make sure that, as the Declaration of Independence says, your life, your liberty, and your pursuit of happiness. And notice the founders said pursuit of happiness. They did not say guarantee of happiness. This government believes that they can guarantee happiness for all of the American people. And that is a dishonest tyranny of the liberal left, because they don't really care about you. They don't really care about your life. What they do care about is enslaving you. What they do care about is creating more and more victims. What they do care about is making more Americans dependent upon them, to the point where Speaker Pelosi would stand up and say that unemployment checks are the means by which you stimulate the economy and you grow jobs. That's the mentality that you have in Washington, D.C. And that's the mentality that has to go away on the 2nd of November. But before that, we got a primary. Because those people on the other side are going to cheat. There's no doubt about it. So all of a sudden, I've got a primary against a guy who just all of a sudden registered as a Republican in March, and I don't think the chairman of the Palm Beach has never met him. The chairman down at Broward has never met him. There is no Republican club has ever seen David Brady. But yet somehow, David Brady came up with the requisite 4,737 petitions to be signed to get on the ballot. And now let me tell you something else. I have every intention of making the Palm Beach Post pay for endorsing David Brady. So when you talk about the primary, I don't want to see 30%. I said it before and I'll say it again. My challenge to the Republican Party in Palm Beach County, in Congressional District 22, and in Broward County is 60%. Because we're going to send a message. We're going to send a message to them that we're going to come out, we're going to vote, and we're going to let our voices be heard. And for the general election, I will accept nothing less than 80% from the Republicans here. Unless you want them to come and take away your country. It's your choice. It's in your face. And it's time to stand up. This here is a place where you can come and take action, just like it says. This is a place where you can come and be a part of a movement, be a part of something that has gained national recognition and even has gained international recognition. And every day when I lay down in bed, I thank God for giving me the opportunity to continue my service to this country and to the people here in Congressional District 22. My life is in your hands, because I will give everything that I can to make sure that you, your children, and your grandchildren are protected. And this United States of America will go on for another 234 years. So God bless you all for coming out here. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for everything that you do. And Molon, Labe.